She's 18, guys. This girl is 18. I guess going viral is more important than morals, than self respect, than family name, than legacy, than everything really these days. People are really out here selling their souls for clout and fame. Self proclaimed prostitute Tumelo goes viral for shaming a young man called Malachi, who apparently, according to her, ate her anus. And she's only 18. Doesn't surprise me. In the current world that we currently live in today, honestly, guys, nope.
Ah, fair enough. You claim that he begged to perform this act on you. How did that come about?
We were in a hotel room, and then he was like, "Oh, can I try something on you?" And I was like, "What?" He's told me. I was like, "How much do you have?"
Sorry, pause. He's told you what he wanted to do, and you asked how much does he have?
Correct.
Okay, I'm gonna put a pin in that and come back to that later.
There's no need to. She's a prostitute. She's literally telling you.
Okay? So you said how much do you have, and then what happened next?
He was like, "Oh, like right now I only got 4 bills." I was like, "We can make that work because you're not about to harass my asshole for free."
Okay. Okay. So after he's giving you the money, or you guys have done whatever, did he pay before or after?
He had to pay before.
Oh.
You can't pay.
Oh, did you see the look in her face? You had to pay before.
No, that's not an option.
He has to pay
Before, yes.
Okay.
Before the service.
Before the service. She's basically selling her body. She's basically selling her body for money. She's prostituting herself. Unfortunately, this is the route that most young girls in the Western world are taking in order to make some quick money. Why? Because of feminism. Feminism told women to be sexually empowered, which basically just comes down to dressing next to nothing and be promiscuous. Because of the sexual revolution in the 1970s, children are being sexualized everywhere we look in society. Children are being sexualized in schools under the guise of sexual education, which keeps getting younger and younger. 9-year-olds are being told that it's okay to masturbate. They are being sexualized through social media, through the internet, through movies, cartoons, you name it. And with movements like slut walks, trying to remove the shame from the word, is it any wonder that she's selling her body at such a young age?
You keep talking about business and no one's gonna eat your bum without paying. Like, girl, what's your profession? Because to me, it's giving prostitution.
Really? Well, it's obvious.
We gotta call a spade because transactions of monetary gain for sexual acts by definition is prostitution, and that's what you're doing here.
I don't think I do it on a wide scale. It's selective.
So you do prostitution on a selective scale.
As if it matters.
Yes.
Yes. So just to clarify,
Sorry, Dad.
So just to clarify, you're a part-time prostitute.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. How did we get there?
She's a prostitute. There you go, guys. She's a prostitute. Another reason why she could be prostituting herself, of course, I'm speculating here, it could also be because she could have been abused. I mean, she was raised by a single mother. That clarification there at the end was the interviewer trying to shame her.
What has led an 18-year-old woman to be a part-time prostitute?
I don't know. I don't really see it as prostitution. I see it as if you want something from me and just that, you should pay.
Was that your first time getting money for sexual acts, or is that
Hell no.
something that you've been doing for a while?
I wouldn't say no. I used to let boys suck my toes for money.
There you go. She doesn't look at it as prostitution. And I agree with her. Because to be honest, modern girls today don't see selling their body online as prostitution. Why? Because they don't see sexual promiscuity as morally wrong. Girls used to be virgins on their wedding day. Now men are okay with settling with a woman that has a 15 body count. Once promiscuity was accepted by society and was seen as normal, selling your body for money is the next logical step. That's why she doesn't see anything wrong with it.
Why do you feel like you've gotten into this business of having transactions for sexual favors? How did this come about? Why has this come about?
I just realized men are a bit weird. And some of them should be taken advantage of.
Okay.
So if they want to use me, I'll use you first.
You're very interested, Yagwa.
This is actually very telling here. Very, very telling. She has almost a disdain for men. She said, if men want to use me, I use them first. This gives me an insight as to how she feels about the quality of men that we have today. And to be honest, she's speaking the truth. Men are sexually degenerates. Men are overly promiscuous. Men are not looking for good women. Men are only looking for instant sexual gratification. I mean, who's funding the sex industry, guys? It's men. Who's paying for OnlyFans? It's men. Who's validating bad behavior from women online? It's men. And the fact that we are the leaders, it makes it even worse. Women are supposed to be the followers. We're supposed to be the leaders. That means we are leading badly. We've lost our morals.
So what's the criteria? What's the bracket that they're getting charged?
Maybe 1,500 to 2,000 because they can afford it.
Okay, so when you're charging them up to £2,000, do they get the full rides? Do they get to enjoy you sexually, or is it just to eat your ass?
They don't get to enjoy me sexually.
So you don't have sex with any of these clients? It's just ass eating?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so is this like a...
More evidence that she's selling her body for money. Or she could be trolling. That's also a possibility. People nowadays will do anything to go viral. She could also be trolling, guys.
Are you at all concerned about how you're being portrayed online?
No.
No. Why are you not concerned?
Because the internet is just a facade. Like, people come on the internet to escape the reality about themselves. Like, a lot of people who are behind the screens laughing, oh, look at her, she's a prostitute. They're prostitutes themselves. They just don't accept the title.
Okay.
What she's basically saying here is that the lifestyle that most modern women are living is similar to a prostitute, but they just don't want to accept the label. She's saying that there's no difference between a prostitute and the lifestyle of modern women today. And what's the lifestyle of a modern woman today? They're trying to what? Finesse men off of resources and attention by sexualizing themselves. That's basically the lifestyle of a modern woman today. That's it. So what she's saying is the truth. They just don't want to accept the label.
What about in the future? Because when you put things on the internet, there is a digital footprint. And what about your children in the future, your potential husband, maybe your job, things like clients? Let's say, for example, you do become a successful rapper. Maybe brands might not want to particularly work with you because of certain things that you say. Does that bother you at all?
She's too individualistic for that. She's way too individualistic to think about other people aside from her.
Do you think about that?
No, look at Cardi B. How did she start?
That's
she started
very true.
by talking shit.
You can't make this shit up.
She said a lot in her career. She got picked up by Love and Hip Hop. Then from there released Bodak Yellow. No one talks about the days where she used to sit on Instagram and talk crap. I love Cardi B, by the way.
There you go. If you don't raise your... listen, guys. If you don't raise your kids to believe in and follow God, believe me, your kids are going to get their morals from people like Cardi B. Cardi B is like a god to modern women. Modern women worship Cardi B. Why? Because Cardi B is the embodiment of everything that feminism wants for young women. She is unapologetically promiscuous and promotes it. She is what feminism would call sexually empowered. She portrays herself as independent and a boss, which basically means, in other words, join the workforce even if it means sacrificing husband and family in the end. That's who these girls worship. Cardi B.
Obviously, when people were online kind of getting at you, you were talking about the fact that your dad didn't do a good job raising you. Do you want to elaborate on that? What did you mean?
My dad was like in and out of my life. So there was never really that male proper figure. That may have contributed to how I am now. But either way, I don't know. There's whores with dads.
That is true. So you feel like your dad not being a part of your life is what's led you to being a part-time prostitute?
No, I feel like even if I had a dad, if I choose to be a whore, that's nothing to do with him. People have two parents in their house and become serial killers. I feel like You can have great parents and become a shit kid.
This is called coping, guys. What she's talking about is the exception, not the rule. The majority of kids that grow up in a two-married parent household turn out better and do better in life compared to kids that grow up in single mother households. 90% of prison inmates come from single parent households. Children are more likely to be physically, emotionally, and sexually abused in a single mother household. What she's doing is trying to morally justify her lifestyle by pointing out these exceptions. Why? Because it's hard to live a morally degenerate lifestyle. You have to find a way to morally justify it somehow because it's too difficult to live with the guilt of it.
Basically, to answer this question, you have no shame.
Why do you keep saying that?
I'm asking you a question.
It's like you're trying to get a rise out of me.
What do you mean?
It's like you're trying to provoke me.
I'm not trying to provoke you. I'm just trying to ask and articulate the fact that you ain't got
attacking me
shame.
because you're old?
Old?
Like,
What do you
your
mean?
generation wouldn't really understand my generation. We're very far apart.
Okay.
I read somewhere you're like 48.
48. Well, I look damn good for 48, if that's
You
the
do.
case.
I'll give you that. You do.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change the fact that after rave, when you was 18, you was probably getting fuck out behind bins.
You don't know me, so I'm going to excuse
I don't need
myself.
to know you.
I'm going to excuse myself
Remember,
for a sec.
you need me here.
Okay, that's fine.
Slay gooders. Give it to them. I'm sorry. Cougar. Everyone wants to attack me. Like, see, she's walked out her own interview. This is the Tumelo show now.
Truth be told, the interviewer was trying to get a rise out of her. She was trying to shame her and put her down, which is a bit hypocritical since she's the one who asked her to come to her show. Having said that, the disrespect. When I was 18 years old, I would have never spoke to my elders like that. You can tell that she was not raised to respect her elders. And that's something that we are noticing more and more amongst the youth today. Unfortunately, this is what the next generation looks like, guys. All right? Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the reaction. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time, guys. All right? Peace.